Hi everyone, phase 1 of the Tu16 Pts is now over. It ended today. So today we're doing a very quick recap video on phase 1 of the PTS for anybody that may missed it. I had some questions in yesterday's stream. We streamed the second time on the PTS and they're asking for a recap video, so I thought it'd be a good idea. That's what this is today. We'll go over all the new gear, my thoughts, the new exotics, the legendaries, countdown, all of the changes that are in the PTS and what I think of them as well. So if you do enjoy today's video, please do hit like and share to support it. Subscribe if you're new here and come and check out our community when you're done today, because we've got a great community for the Division 2. It's linked at the top of the video description, so make sure you do that. So first things first, the two new legendaries that were added in their PTS. We had legendary Manning National Zoo that you can see on screen now, and we had a legendary tidal basin as well. Now we went for the legendaries on Friday night. That's when I planned to do them, and we couldn't get past Manning National Zoo. It was a great challenge. We didn't wipe at all up until the final area, but that final area was absolutely brutal for anybody that watched. It was really, really difficult. There's a lot of comments in chat saying that 99% of the player base won't be able to cope with that. It needs to be a bit easier, and we did struggle. Now, in the game's defense, I don't play on PC. The PTS is only on PC. I'm limited builds. Raddy came and joined us. He's very limited with his builds. He doesn't even play the game really that much. Paul only had a skill build really. And it was only Tearfield that could actually change builds to try and strategize or do anything different. So we're at a disadvantage anyway, but I really enjoyed the difficulty of it personally. I feel Legendary should be difficult. That last area did seem maybe a tad too difficult for me, but and they might need to bring that down. But we'll see. If you watch the stream, it was awesome. I had a ton of fun. I was just gutted that we didn't get past it because we weren't able to try Tidal Basin out. So Tidal Basin Legendary was also a thing. I didn't get to test that out, unfortunately, on the PTS phase 1, but I'll be looking to do that on phase 2 of the PTS as soon as that goes live. But that does seem, from what I've been reading, to be a little bit easier. Manning National Zoo was a tougher one, but it's great to see two new legendaries in the game, and it's going to be great when season 10 releases. Another thing that came in the PTS was all of the countdown changes. So countdown has had kind of like a vast overhaul. You now have difficulty settings where you can play it on normal. I tried this out in Monday stream yesterday, and we're playing some solo countdown. That's quite a challenge. With the right build though, it will be absolutely fine. But if you don't have the right build, it was a struggle because you're going against the clock. You need to rush a little bit. You're by yourself, but it's really, really good. It felt like it was well balanced for me, but with the right build, you'll get it done. They also have hard, challenging, and heroic. We tried a lot of heroic on Friday night before we did the legendaries, and we thought that was real good as well. I actually uploaded a video to more GCROCK a couple of days ago. I was attempting that in a 4 for the first time. We did a 4-person heroic, and it was great fun. I feel the countdown changes have really made the game mode a little bit better and more open to all as well. It was kind of already open to all, but now it allows anybody to solo it if they don't want to play in a group and they rather play solo and whatnot. So some great changes to countdown. They brought in some more countermeasures as well, so the countermeasures have been mixed up a little bit also. And yeah, I'm absolutely all for these changes. I think they have improved the countdown mode quite a bit, to be fair, especially with the heroic. It's great playing it on heroic. Next, we're going to take a look at all the new gear and exotic items that are coming in Tu16 and Division 2. We're going to start with the Dr. Home. So this is the new exotic rifle. It's going to be a version of the M1A CQB. You can see here that it comes with rifle damage, crit damage, damage to target out of cover, so some great attributes. And the talent you get on this is Dr. Home, where shooting an enemy with this weapon will apply a mark for 5 seconds, and if a marked target is killed, it will drop a 15% armor repair kit, which applies to the whole party when picked up. The kit will not give bonus armor, so if they're at full armor, it won't do anything. So we had to play around with this. There's a few questions I had with this exotic, and that was, so when I was in a group, if I was to mark a target, if my teammate killed that target, will it drop the armor kit? Yes, it does, which was very, very good. It means that you could just, I wouldn't really I'd put this on a DPS build, and it was hitting very, very hard, and it's very, very good. But it's more for a support build. If you can get a support build and you're just marking targets, your teammate can kill those targets for you. You can go around picking up these armor kits, just giving everybody a 15% buff. The other question that I wasn't really able to test out on it was, is that 15% armor based on your team player's armor or your armor. So for example, if I was a tank build with a ton of armor, would they get more of an armor increase? I don't think they do. I think it's based on their armor, and they'll get 15% of their armor back. But I didn't really get a chance to test that. If you do know, answer that down in the video comments. I'd appreciate it. That's the first exotic to look at. The next exotic is the Busy Little Beast. So this is a version of the lightning rod. I didn't get a chance to use this, but I had no questions about this. I kind of want to get this on my PlayStation to make builds around it already. I know what this does. We'll read the talent now, but it comes with weapon damage, pistol damage, damage target out of cover, and then the Busy Little Bee talent, where each shot to a different target will increase weapon damage if players keep changing the target, and each shot increases 10% to a maximum of 200%. Not shooting at a new target for 5 seconds or shooting twice at the same target ends the stack effect, but once the stack effect is ended, it gives you an extra 5% damage per stack obtained on your next shot. Stacks obtained remain active when switching weapons. So you can imagine with this gun that you're just going to keep on switching targets to get all the way to the max stack, and then when you end that stack, you're going to get that huge damage buff to your next shot. I can imagine that we're going to be seeing some insane damage numbers on certain builds, and it just seems really, really fun in that respect. I didn't try it during a PTS myself because probably not something I'd initially go to like this, but it looks fun, and I think people will like that weapon when it comes out. The final exotic is the Bloody Knuckles. So these are new exotic gloves, and with these you get weapon damage, crit chance, and crit damage, and you get over the top talent where damaging an enemy with a grenade or striking an enemy with a melee attack activates Seeing Red, and Seeing Red grants 25% weapon damage and 100% to melee damage, and Seeing Red will last for 20 seconds and has a 60-second cooldown after completion. But while in cooldown, damaging enemy with a melee attack or hitting an enemy with the effect of a grenade will complete the cooldown instantly, which means you can reset it instantly with that and then go again. These look very fun again, and a lot of people in chat were saying how they're going to mix these up with the Lady Death, and is it the claws out holster where you get 500% melee damage, and they can't wait to do that. It's something I did want to kind of test out in the PTS. I didn't get around to doing it, so in phase 2 of the PTS we might have a play around with these and test it out, the Lady Death and claws out. I just don't have a claws out holster on my PC character, so I'm not sure how I'm going to go about getting it, but it sounds like it could make way for a very, very fun melee build. Now, as well as exotics, we had some named items, and I think the top pick from the named items, apart from the one that's broken, which we'll go over in a few moments, is the Picaro's holster. A lot of people are calling for this and that other item to be nerfed. I'm not sure myself if this one needs nerfing, but I really like the looks of this holster, and it could become best in slot when released in Tu16. So it's the new brand set, which is Arquebuz of Brazos, which comes with skill haste, skill tier, and ammo capacity. So you're going to get 10% skill haste for wearing this holster on its own, but you get the armor core attribute, and one of the other attributes is 20% weapon damage. Now, I did check, you can't double up on that weapon damage, so you can't roll weapon damage again at 15% to make 35% weapon damage go on the piece, but it does act like a 2 core attribute piece, because with a little bit extra, because imagine if you had armor and 15% weapon damage as the 2 cores. This is allowing you to have armor and 20% weapon damage. It's a super piece. You can mix it with skill tier as well, and you can look at making some decent or better skill hybrid builds. This would definitely go on my skill hybrid build for sure, giving me that extra weapon damage as well. And you can have 2 attributes as well on top of that weapon damage, so you could potentially have 20% weapon damage, crit chance, and crit damage with armor or skill tier. It's an insane piece. I think it'll become best in slot released as it is. People are calling for a nerf though. The second item that people are calling for a nerf for is the Lefty. This is the new named shotgun. It's the named version of the ACS-12. It's absolutely insane. I released a short on it yesterday after stream. I used it yesterday in stream. It's so overpowered. It comes with shotgun damage, damage to armor. You can then roll whatever you want as a third attribute. And you've got Perfected Sledgehammer, which is a new talent that's coming in Tu16. This didn't even matter. I didn't even use it. You deal damage with a dealing damage with a grenade applies a mark on a target. Targets with the mark will take 40% more damage to armor and have minus 30% movement speed, and mark will disappear after 10 seconds. Didn't even use that talent. We just used this shotgun alone, and I was absolutely annihilating with it. I don't think this can stay as it is when it releases in TU16, but we'll see. So overpowered, but so much fun to use. My favorite item from the PTS just because of that. There are a couple of more named items which I didn't really get around to using. You got the named stage left rifle. Not sure what this comes from, but it has perfected Sledgehammer on again. Again, never got around to using it, but this will be new in TU16. Then we had the named Hermano backpack, which came with perfected overclock, where allies within 10 meters of your deployed skills gain 30% reload speed and reduces their active cooldowns by 0.4 seconds each second. And then the last thing to go over is the new Ombre Gear Set. So this gear set as 2 pieces is going to come with critical hit chance. As 3 pieces, it's going to come with 30% reload speed. And as 4 pieces, you're going to get from the shadows into the light talent. Now, I do like the way this talent works. So while you're in cover, you gain 10 stacks per second up to 50. Each stack will give 1% critical hit damage and increase your rate of fire by 0.3% RPM rather. The buff does not apply while shooting from cover though. You've then got to come out of cover to take advantage of that buff. And while out of cover, agents will lose 4 stacks per second at normal speed or 2 stacks per second if you're sprinting. But you'll also start gaining the other part of this talent, because while you're out of cover and in combat, you gain 10 stacks per second up to 50, and each stack will give you 0.5% armor regen when it is consumed. Stacks consumed 10 stacks per second only in cover. So the first part of the talent you're charging up, basically you're going to come out of cover, have increased crit damage, increased rate of fire, and while you're dealing damage with all of that, you're going to then be stacking your armor regen. But then that won't apply until you go back into cover. So you'll then go back into cover, say you take some damage, and that armor regen will then kick in. Depending on how high the stacks are, will be how much you get back. You'll be self-healing from cover then while you're charging up your damage again. It works very well. I put a quick build together in the PTS, and you can see me using it now in the game of Countdown. Notice on the bottom there on my HUD, as I get into cover, that is then charging to full. If I step out of cover now, I'm going to have that increased RPM and that increased crit damage. That's going to be losing stacks, but for a while there, just look at that RPM of the Eagle Bearer. It's really fun. Now while I'm out of cover, my armor regen is also charging up, so that is already full. When I pop into cover next, I'm going to have that armor regen and be able to get my armor back up to full. My stacks are nearly low again now, so it's a great time to go in cover now to recharge the RPM and crit damage buff, and also get some armor back. Basically how it works, you're just coming out of cover to take advantage of the buff, going back into cover to heal up and recharge that buff. It is a good gear set, but I didn't feel like I put a great build together around it with what I had on PC. Can't wait to get this back to PlayStation though, and I'm thinking about making an SMG build around it. And that is it. We're going to end with some footage here of the named shotgun, the lefty. It's insane. We played quite a bit with this yesterday on stream and did some heroic work and some countdown and whatnot. It's really good. I do think this will be nerfed though. The only other thing to mention, there has been as well in the PTS some quality of life improvements. One of the ones that people are most happy about is they're aiming to in Title Update 16 when it releases in September to allow you the ability to remove the specialization from your backpack. You'll notice on screen now my specialization is not showing. They're hoping that that's going to be available for Season 10 when TU16 comes out, and agents will have the ability to hide their signature weapon or show it. So that's why if you're wondering where it's gone, that's why. It's one of the quality of life improvements that they're also coming in the next update. But thank you for watching today. That's basically a recap of what went on in the PTS over the weekend. I really enjoyed it. Can't wait to see what changes they make and what they bring in for stage 2. And when we have a date of that, we'll let you know as well. Hopefully it's only a couple of weeks away or less than that, because season 10 is actually due to go live on the 13th of September, and this will be available for everybody. So I look forward to that. If you have enjoyed today's video, do please hit like and share to support, subscribe if you're new here, and now come and check out our community, because it's linked at the top of the video description. It's the best community you can be in if you play the Division 2, so come and check it out. Until next time, thank you for watching this video, stay safe and peace out.